Random deck this video, oh my god. And a new map. I went to the Friday Night Cards last Friday, cracked open a Gold Series pack, and Bob's your uncle. And I got one of each of the mats. I also pulled, what were they? Whoops, wrong one, I didn't show you the other side. I got the Envoy, yay. Sitting in a random top loader. I also got a 5-headed dragon and another spy, so pretty good pulls. I don't think I'll be cracking open any more Gold Series 4 packs unless I have some sort of method to give the mat away, because I've got each of the mats now. But back to the focus of this video, and it's the deck list for the, I suppose we'll call it Dark Magician deck. I suppose it's a Dark Magician deck because it's got support behind Dark Magician, of course. I revamped this last night because it was only last night that I bothered to have a look and see if there's any reasons as to why it got screwed over a couple of weeks ago at Friday Night Cards. And my findings were pretty shocking. The deck consisted of 24, 8, 8. 24 being the monsters. So obviously I had to change that around. Managed to cut it down to, I think, 20. And I've got a stack load of spells now as well, so I think the deck's gonna run a little bit more smoothly when I go there tonight, provided of course I get a game. Now let me see. Yeah, we're just going with the deck list. 2 Dark Magicians. They're both the starter deck versions, and of course the namesake of the deck. Dark Magician Girl, obviously. Chaos Sorcerer, nice little card there. Double Breaker, sort of. Yeah. One Skilled Dark Magician. Double Magical Exemplar. It is worth pointing out that I'm pretty much running this deck based on the best sort of essentials that I've got, because I haven't got every single card that I need for a worthy sort of spellcasting deck, so I'm basically just working with what I've got, and hopefully it'll work to an extent. Double Apprentice Magician. 1 Old Vindictive. Time Wizard, just some sort of little, I suppose, tech probably, I don't know. Oracle of the Sun, basically just a spellcaster version of Cyber Dragon. Works well. It's probably the best thing to go into the level 7 synchros. Frequency Magician, in here because it's a light attribute, and we obviously need light attributes to feed up Chaos Sorcerer, Night Zen Sorcerer, Voltronic Lantron. Yeah, it's a bit random, but it's actually a pretty good card. It's got, if it's in attack mode, any effect damage that you would take is sent straight back to your opponent. So it's basically Dragonite Dracula Quest in a Pocket Dynamo. Plus, if it's in defense mode and destroyed by battle sent to the graveyard, you take no battle damage this turn. So a little bit of Winged Karibo in there as well. Plague Spreader, enough said. Goddess with the Third Eye, Fusion Substitute, since I am running Dark Paladin in here. Sanguine, pretty much a basic staple. Spells, Dark Magic Attack, because it's the only kind of deck that will run Dark Magic Attack. Sage of Stone, just to get him on the field sort of quicker. A little bit situational, but yeah. Magic Formula, just giving him a bit of a boost. Double Magical Dimension, again, would run 3, but I've only actually got 2 full stop, and I don't really feel like proxying any. Arcane Barrier, pretty much the only sort of draw engine I've got in the deck. If you don't know what it does, I'll just guide you through it. Each time a spellcaster type monster on the field is destroyed, you can place 1 spell counter on this card. Its maximum is 4, and you can then send this card and a face-up spellcaster you control to the grave. And for each spell counter that was on this card, you get to draw a card. So If you're running low on hand and you've got about 3 or 4, just send that and you've got yourself a little bit more of a hand advantage. Swords, swords, polymerization, obviously for fusions, Miracle Synchro Fusion. I'd probably prefer using this to get Supreme Arcanite out, because, but I can bring Supreme Arcanite with, I can just use it as a bit of like a decoy, because it gets me the +1 when it gets destroyed. Book of Moon, Book of Moon, MST, blah blah blah. Trunade, Darkhold, Monster Reborn, all basic staples. Traps. Magician's Circle. I'm probably thinking of putting this up to 2, but as for now I've only got the 1 at the moment. Magic Cylinder, because it can win games. Trap Stun, blah blah blah. Double Compulsory Evac. I think these are just work better in this sort of situation, and even so, I've obviously not got a shitload of bottomless trap holes coming out of my ass. No pun intended. Torrential Tribute and Mirror Force, both basic staples. It's the main deck done, so now we've got the extra deck, which consists of 10 cards. Dark Paladin. You saw it was coming because it was at the start of the video. Supreme Arcanite Magician. Brilliant. Fusion. 1 Arcanite Magician. If I do get a second, it's definitely going in here. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Double Tempest Magician. Double Explosive Magician. 1 Flamvel Urquizis. I got no idea how the hell you're supposed to pronounce it, but it's still a pretty good card. Nice little piercer, gives itself a bit of an attack boost. Brionac. This is the same Brionac that was in the Blackwing deck, but since I kind of figured that there's a rule change on its way, I'm just take it out of Blackwings, because it's probably not going to be as effective in Blackwings anymore. And finally, Magical Android for random life point gain. Plus it is of course food for Chaos Sorcerer. So that is the deck. That's the deck pretty much in a nutshell there. I am obviously considering getting another copy of the Spellcaster's Command Structure deck just to get some staples out of that and hopefully make this deck a little bit stronger. Obviously there's a few cards that I'd love to get my hands on. Until then, that's the build I'm pretty much going to have to run. This is the end of the video. I shall see you later.